Hello everyone. We have our news for the week, so let's go through everything. Maintenance is the usual time that we're all used to. Ending with maintenance is just item world. So this time we are getting Final Fantasy IV Collab. So we're getting a login for that. We're getting both Summoner Rydia and Dragoon Cain. So the usual 30 fragments for logins there. We do have a red pearl for the logins. They are giving us cash summons for both of them. Used to that by now. Usual exchange shop stuff. The only thing to note is these are not premium units, but they're not listing their shards in the banner shop. So if they're not actually there, that's a little bit of disappointment for non-premium units. We are getting some magic updates. So Meteor is getting upgraded to a +2, and it's going to be consuming mana to do damage, so it's similar to Holy. Tornado gets a boost and also gets a +3 boost to make it a 120 and reduce wind by 135. Pretty decent on that overall. And then Blizzaga also getting a +3. Now they are noting not everybody with these spells are getting. I'm assuming just Rydia is going to get the +3s for both of these. And we are getting some new vision cards. There's 3 total, so 1 from each unit, and then they're doing another limited card off the step-up summon. So first we got the Battle at Barisha, the physical card from Kain. So maxed out 100 attack, 50% attack, 25 limit damage, 500 for Final Fantasy IV units. Standard series type card, really. And then the magic version from Rydia. And again, pretty much the same thing, except for it's magic instead of attack. Pretty standard for our series stuff. And then there is the Warrior of the Azure Crystal. Now this is going to be from a 25k step up, just like the last limited card. And this one's focused around dual wield. Interesting thing to note is none of these things seem to be locked behind a series. So, level 1 card already maxed out. 110 attack and magic is decent. 300 attack and magic and 50% light resist is pretty nice. 75% physical and magic, demon and human killer is nice. And then it gives dual wield to anybody, 100% dual wield attack and magic, and it has the 200% chain cap when dual wielding, which is rather nice overall. So there's a few things that I could use this card for, so I'm probably going to go for it. Alright, so we have the usual unit quest for Kain. We're getting more of the regular story, which means more Lapis, which is good. We are getting the next 12 types takedown challenge against the Dullahan. This is a Reaper fight, and you're going to be wanting to do either lightning or fire-based damage. A couple of things to note is it's going to do a preemptive light attack, I believe. I believe it's light magic. So you're going to need preemptive cover. But other than that, does ice damage as well as stop and counters. So you're going to have to watch out for that. And the rewards, Undead Killer Plus is going to be handy. And then we also get a 75% machine killer. So killers are always nice, especially when they're over 50%. So we'll have some fun with that trial. Final Fantasy IV has its own Chronicle battle. So usual stuff there with the bonuses. And what we're going to be able to upgrade is the Shadow Dragon Scale. Getting, I believe, attack added to it. I believe current version only has magic. Dark Resist and Final Fantasy IV units only get 50% human killer, which isn't bad overall there. And then our Helmless Cain Lance is getting upgraded, so it's going to be able to go into a two-handed version. The notes down here say that we can change it back and forth from one-handed and two-handed. So two-handed spear, 500 attack for Cain, and just Cain, and then it looks like it has 2 boosts for jumps. And those don't seem to be limited to anything, so everybody should get those, which is rather nice. The only issue that we still have is with Lance variants and pretty much all jumpers being built better as a dual-wield unit than a double-hand unit. But we can change that back and forth from two-hand and one-hand, so should be nice. We're getting the last 2 areas of World of Visions. So that's the fight against Id and True Weltal. So Id, I believe, should be cappable. And then Weltal is probably going to be the one that we won't be able to cap, and that's going to be our true test for ranking. So Final Fantasy IV, we're getting a King Mog, essentially. So we get a free Barbricia. Feel a little bit missed out that they didn't give her an NVA, but some of the items. So a sword, 130 attack with Demon Killer on it. It looks like just a 50% killer from the description there. It's okay. The Bestiary, another source of Libra accessory with 33 spirit. Probably won't be used unless you need to scan stuff. And the Black Cowl, 20 defense and 10% evade, nullify sleep. I mean, just 10% evade on that seems kind of low. The new units, obviously 300% bonus. They're letting us get 200% for all the Xenogear units in the last set of Neovisions that we got. Chao only gets the 150. And then we do get a little challenge, the Looming Wall. So we can get another Master Crown from this, which means it's probably going to be a 3 or 5 turn kill, depending. So the actual banner, Neovision, Kain, and Rydia. And here's the step up for the card. So 25,000 total. We get 6 tickets towards a pity. I think it says you need 10. Yeah, you need 10 tickets to pity. You get the last step gives us the 1 ticket to change in for the card. You get some guaranteed Neovision in there at least. So Kain, obviously Dragoon, so he's focused a little bit around his jumps. And he is true Brave Shift. So super, heavy armor, 70 attack, 20 defense. He gets 500 attack for just versions of Kain, and it's got 150 jump damage on it. His regular trust is 50 limit damage with 75% jump. Usual EX 500 attack, it's going to be EX3. That's what they all are. And his 2 forms, he's got, I believe, lightning in the base and light in the shift. And then we have Summer Rydia. So she's pretty much like all the other evokers. She gets 2 turns in her shift form. Her shift limit burst is just a evoke finisher. So her super, 60% magic spirit clothing. Now for versions of Rydia, 500 magic just added in. And then for everybody else, 40% Esper parameters and 30% evoke, and then 100% Esper stats. So overall, pretty good for just about any summoner evoker. A regular trust is 30% Esper evoke and 4 limit crystals per turn. And then there is a little note here that stealing gives the incorrect insignias, so they'll probably just compensate by giving the correct ones later. That's what they did last time they had a screw up there. So we can take a look at the kits of them on the JP side, because I didn't see anything stating that there was going to be any global changes. However, they have done a global change without putting it in the news before. But Kain, his main issue is he wants to be a double hand jumper. And again, for the most part, all jumpers do more damage built as a dual wield unit. So his limit burst in the base, lightning base, reduce lightning, increase LB damage, increases lightning damage, and 150 finisher to everybody. He's got a couple of jumps and some boosts. So he can give a 100 modifier to his jumps. He's got a one-turn non-elemental jump that's 70. So with the boost, 170 there. And then he's got an element locked one that's 100. So that boosts it to 200. And he does reduce spear resist by 30%, which is actually kind of nice. And then his shifted form is pretty much the light version. So he gets a light version of the jump. The other stuff is copied over, really. And his limit burst is just a light version of his base one. But like we saw with Riaz when we got her base form is set to be a jumper. She's got 170 just jump without having to boost it. She wants to be a double hand, and yet building her as a dual wield, if you have the items, does more damage because it actually hits twice. So Kain is going to suffer the same fate overall, I believe, which is unfortunate until they give us some jump changes and variance changes to the weapons. I mean, he's usable enough if you like Kain. Definitely no issues there. But like I said, for now, until they add in a couple of fixes, pretty much all jumpers want to be dual wield just because it hits twice. And then we have Rydia. So her base form focused around her magic. She's mainly ice damage dealer, although she does have her tornado in the base. She's got the Magnus in both forms, which boosts ice damage, fills the limit, and everything that we're used to expecting. She gets Quadcast Unlock with 320% magic, which is kind of nice there. She does get a passive that adds 40 to all her magics, except for a limit. So her base main damage is going to be Tornado and her ice damage, which with the 40 plus is going to be 160 on Tornado, making it her best spell. And then she gets 112 out of the ice. Lightning doesn't get any extra boost, so that's only up to an 80. Her limit is going to be a chainer, stacks up to 250, so the limit's not all that bad either. But the main reason is her 2 turns in her shift. So she gets a elemental evoke chainer, old chaos wave frames. And then her limit burst itself, 80x ice evoke, and it also reduces ice 130 before the hit, which is actually really handy. Especially if you're squeezing her into a multi-element team. Don't have to worry about imperiling ice before she does her damage. Now she does do some fields when evoking espers. So for Leviathan, I believe it's 100% spirit. Ashura, I believe it's 100% attack field. And Bahamut, I believe it's 100% magic. Which I think might be usable with stacking with doing one that's like an enemy only in peril field. I have to see how the numbers play out with that because we don't have many attack-based fields overall that just do the stats and everything. But she herself, double hand magic unit, she does get her chain cap in there. We'll still need 100 to max out. But overall, not a ton in her kit. I mean, she's just the ice version of evokers, so she'll fit in with units like Terra, except for instead of fire, she's ice. But she'll be fun overall too. So that's pretty much all the news that we have for this week. We'll have to see if they're going to give us a week 2 of the Final Fantasy IV units, because there is, I believe, one more unit that they had, or if they'll continue with something else. But this is all the news that we have for now, so we're going to end this video here. Hope everybody enjoyed.